All right. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Why doesn't everybody quickly introduce each other? All right. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll go from myself. Hi, I'm VP Quinn with High Level Games Presents Star Trek Adventures. This is part 2 of episode 3 of our adventure on the USS Bonaventure, NCC 2835. And go ahead.
I'm Vanessa. I'm playing Dr. Bassa Idem, joined Trill doctor. And yeah, the doctor's always in. I never rest.
Hi, everyone. I'm Michael, playing your captain, Celis Argel. Celis is a Bajoran who is also always in, because he lives on the Bonaventure like everyone else.
Hi, I'm Jake. I am playing First Officer Kieran Hex, a Betazoid first officer who is not always in. He is an away team specialist and likes to do science outside.
I'm Tim. I play Marcus Barton, the helmsman. He is always in, even when he is out.
What?
I'm not good.
All right. Phenomenal. That was helpful in the extreme, everyone.
I'm glad I started that. That's very good.
Yes. We're going to get started here for a second. For our editor, who's going to edit these into podcasts, as well as for the people who might be coming and checking out what we're doing. My voice is a little ratchet today as I'm coming down with something. So if I suddenly grossly sneeze onto the camera, I apologize in advance. See how it plays out. And you guys get to see the beauty of someone who's addicted to nicotine and has a ratchet throat and wants to cough, continues to take in stuff that's going to mess with their throat. So that's fun. Oh, addiction. What we were doing when we last left our intrepid heroes is we were on the holodeck, and we were being run through a little series of war games, wherein the chief security officer, what was her name? Oh my goodness. Ithrasi, that's right. Ithrasi was running everyone through a group of fighter exercises in a runabouts, so that we could get to know the ship-to-ship combat. Some tips for GMs out there: far fewer zones than I put onto this. It needs to be a lot closer in. So 4 zones total is a lot of zone. So just FYI. But we started out like this, so we're going to kind of see it through to the end. As the combat has begun, we've seen some interesting personality things play out. For example, Kieran, who had chosen to work with Falk, was either really unsettled or really comforted by the complete lack of emotions coming from his co-pilot, which surprisingly, though, did not help the process, because Marcus, laying in wait, was able to take Kieran out. Though technically, Kieran kind of took Kieran out when you rammed Marcus's ship, bounced off his modulated shields, and destroyed yourselves.
Like a boss, I will have you know.
Bassa Edom has taken no damage and engaged in no combat at this point.
I'm doing very well, though, I have to say.
Very well at doing nothing so far.
Yes.
Marcus, having vanquished the person he was in a dogfight with, using some spectacular maneuvers and guile, now turns his attention to the closest person to him in a runabout, which is Bassa Edom, though she is right next to the wormhole, which will take her to the other side of Nebula. David Humphreys, your chief engineer, or acting chief engineer, not shockingly, is incredibly aggressive in these war games. Which, since he got Zick, who is a doctor, as his co-pilot, who has alternately cried and stress yelled her way through this, though performed exemplary throughout the entire process, has engaged the captain in combat. And Captain Celis and David are pretty evenly matched in regards to how they're doing, though I think it's Captain's turn up next. So we'll see how that plays out. It's very interesting. Why don't we get started? We have Celis Argel and Dizrak. Or Celis Argel is up first. Celis? Now you're sharing a zone with David Humphreys.
Okay. Let's see here. Now, right now, what is the status of David Humphreys' runabout exactly, as we know?
So what you know is that he's used a lot of power and has ceased using heavy power pulling maneuvers. So he's probably out of power, and his shields have taken a beating and are down to about 25%.
And how much power does our runabout currently have left?
Your runabout?
Yes.
So if you click on your runabout, there's these 3 circles. One's red, one's green, and one's blue. The red is how much, what do you call it? What your resistance is. The green is how much power you have left, and the blue, I think, is your shields. That sounds about right.
Okay.
And you are on operations. Remember, you had split operations and con.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like the best thing to do at this exact moment is to firing a microphoton torpedo does not use a point of power, correct?
That's right. That's right.
Okay. And after the final point of power there is expended, if we were to fire phasers, would torpedoes be available after?
That's right.
They would be.
Yes.
Okay. So Celis Argel is going to tap on his console and fire phasers right at David Humphreys.
All right, fire weapon. So that is a control plus security task assisted by the ship's weapons plus security.
Okay, so control plus security. 3d20. Applicable focus, no.
All right. So that is 1 success. You need 2 successes for a successful shot.
Okay, and running. Remind me, rolling for the runabout.
Yes. So rolling for the runabout, you need a weapons plus security. Oh, do you remember what page that's on? The runabout itself? There it is. It's on page 235, Danube class runabout.
And we wouldn't be using one of the pre-existing character sheets for this, no?
For the runabout?
Yes.
No. It's just the runabout stats.
It's 2d20, yeah.
That we're missing one.
One more.
Okay, one more. Okay.
That was a total of 2 successes. I think that hits.
Excellent.
Can I get a... Let's see.
Pull up my manual here.
Yeah, I just want to double check to make sure that it's only 2 successes for a photon torpedo and not 3.
Oh, sorry, that was phasers.
Oh, that was phasers. Then it's certainly 2. So yeah, you hit. So
And you had power. You had power left, correct? Because phasers require power.
yes. So
Yes.
you lose your last point of power. I can remove for you. And you definitely hit. So phasers. Now, how much damage does phasers do? Ah, 4. So you do 4 challenge dice, or 4. Yeah, I think they're called challenge.
Yes. Also, you earn 2 points of momentum for hitting. That's
Okay.
what versatile 2
You
means.
cannot earn any momentum as you have 6 momentum.
Okay. So rolling for damage here is
So you
4 dice.
you roll 4 dice. Yes.
Okay. 4d20, correct?
No, 4d6.
46.
0.
That is 0 damage.
Damn it.
That being
You can-
said, you do
You
have
can add with momentum.
you do have
Dump your-
momentum. And
Dump your momentum into the damage.
so for every 1 point of momentum repeatable that you put in, you can add a bonus of +1 damage to that hit.
Okay, let's add 5 momentum.
5 momentum. You're down to 1 momentum, and David Humphreys explodes in a fiery ball. That's do not pass go, do not collect $200, explode in a fiery ball.
Excellent.
Here, do you want the fiery ball effect?
We would love that.
I expect the fiery ball effect.
Okay, first, let's see that's the blast. Then, let's see, red. No, we'll do that.
Oh,
How's that?
it's very satisfying.
So your turn is over. You're down to 1 momentum, and you're out of power. You do. Oh wait, making more explosions. You do have only 1 point of shields left, and your resistance remains at 2. So far, though, you've taken no damage. But as we have discovered, these runabouts, after the shields are gone, they basically just blow up.
Which is basically what happens in the shows anyway.
Yes.
True.
As the thing explodes, you hear Marcus yelling recriminations and bring curses down upon the family of Zik as the line goes dead and they're taken out of the city. Done. Okay. Next up after Celis is Marcus.
Oh, okay.
Now, Marcus, you're also on operations?
No, I'm piloting.
Yes, you're on con. That's right.
So, if I went to impulse, how far would that get me?
Well, you just need to look at the impulse section.
Yeah, it says I can move anywhere within long range. I'm just wondering what long range is in this
Okay.
map.
So, long range, just read section again. Long range is defined as an object or vessel 2 zones away from the vessel's current zone. So, for you, that could be That could be 1, 2, like there.
Awesome.
Or 1, 2,
You're-
there.
All right. That's what we're going to do then.
Okay.
We will spend a point of power and use impulse drive to move.
Okay, I'll reduce your power by 1.
Okay. And what checks do I need to make?
What does it say under impulse? Control plus con with a difficulty 0, assisted by engines plus con.
Okay.
You currently have
Control.
2 momentum.
Plus con. All right. I have a focus, helm operations,
That fits.
and impulse engines. I mean, take your pick.
Mm-hmm. Like, we get it. You're good at this. So 3 successes thus far. Now the engines plus con for the runabout. Engines are a 7, con is 2, so that's a 9. That is a natural 20, which is a complication.
But I didn't do it.
So that is 3 successes on a difficulty 0 task. So you do get 5 total momentum. You do succeed at what you're doing. You can move your craft accordingly.
Okay.
Okay. Now that you've moved your craft, your engine's completely cut out. It will take a round of operations to bring them back online. And Athrossi, if Athrossi ever laughed, would be laughing right now at all the complications she's clearly programmed into this simulation so that you guys have to deal with this.
I knew she was evil.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Dr. Bassa. Now, you are on operations. Marcus has moved closer to you, is only a long range away.
Okay, and with long range, I'm gonna... Let's see. I really dislike PDFs going back and forth. I'm going to shoot a torpedo.
Okay, a mini torpedo.
Yes.
And that's within the range.
That's what I'm looking up now.
Target range is long, yeah, on the micro torpedoes.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just got there. Okay.
Hey, Marcus is like, I'll get her before she gets away. Comes shooting up. You see the nacelles just go dark as you're just like, pew! Now you do have 3 momentum, just FYI.
Okay.
So firing the torpedo is a control plus security task, assisted by weapons plus security.
Control plus security.
The doctor is in.
The doctor is in. Control and security. And obviously, nanotechnology is definitely helping us in this. It's worth a try.
That's 2 successes. That is a successful hit, and you get
All right.
an automatic 2 momentum for hitting. So that is, brings you up to 5 momentum. Now roll your 4 dice for damage.
Oh, I have to do my computer.
No, it doesn't help.
No. Okay. And then my 4d6, correct?
That's right.
Okay. Perfect.
And Jay can help me out on this because he's faster at it than I am.
Oh, he's quiet.
He's also super quiet.
That is 5 with an effect.
Okay. Now, what is the effect? The effect for this is high yield.
Does nothing.
Does nothing. All right. So,
But can I make it look very spectacular? That can be an instant effect. I'm okay with that.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It blows up with fiery blast. Do you want the fiery blast?
Yes, please. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now that's 5 damage, but you do have momentum if you want to spend. There's a few different ways you can do that.
You have to in order to beat his damage reduction.
Right. So how many do I have to beat? I don't know what he has, but
Pretty sure he has 8 or 9.
It's a 9.
It was enough. I couldn't get over it.
It's a 9.
Yeah. So,
if I use all my momentum, I can get through, though.
well, you have a couple of different options, right? You can spend for penetration, and then
That's what you should do.
it ignores the amount of the target's resistance equal to 2 for every one, and you can spend for damage, or you can combo it up.
Spend to ignore his resistance. His resistance is so high.
Yeah.
You have 3 points of momentum.
You have 5 right now.
5 now. So.
You could negate 8 points of that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So 4 will negate 8 points of his resistance, and then apply 5 points of damage, which brings your modulated shields offline, which drops you to your original resistance to 2. 1 point of resistance on that 5 is taken off. Then another, so that's 2, and then all 3 points of your. Oh wait, how does this work? I'm doing this wrong. You reduce it down to 1, so it effectively is a 1. Then you do 5. So that's 1 point of resistance. There's 4 left. So that means 3 points of your shields are gone in an instant, with 1 overloading into the ship. So you take damage.
Yay!
That's a breach.
That is a breach. Let me just look up the breach. Oh, that's a big old smashy. Let's just -3. You now have your shields are down.
I was just minding my own business, going to the wormhole. Had to come, hang out.
Technically, I did nothing but move toward you.
Yeah, well, I saw what was happening over on the other side there.
He was wanting to befriend you.
Yeah.
He had flowers to deliver.
I know the
propose an
lies.
alliance against our captain. Yeah.
Should have maybe tried to communicate that.
I'm the pilot. I can't communicate things.
All right, so we need to figure out what system was hit with a breach. So you roll a d20.
I do?
Yes.
8.
An 8. That means his sensors are hit. And the sensors... Okay. So the system for sensors is damaged, which means the system has been significantly damaged. It increases the difficulty of all tasks that involve or are assisted by the ship's sensors by +2 until repaired. Further, any attacks the ships make increase in difficulty by +1 until the damage has been repaired. The difficulty to repair this is a 3. All right? That was a big old welcome to the party for Dr. Bassa. All right, top of the order, we're at Dizrak at Con. Celis, you're down here by your lonesome. You and Dizrak just hanging out, enjoying your victory.
So as we enjoy our victory, Dizrak plots a course to the wormhole at a reasonable and not very fast speed.
All right. Dizrak starts telling you about his childhood and some fun memories he has. You guys are taking this moment to bond.
We're having a time.
Yeah, it's good. Let's see here. So that's a maneuver, so it's a control plus con, assisted by the engines plus con.
Okay, so control plus on applicable focus. Con mechanics? No.
Con mechanics?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Wait. Well, whatever. 2 successes thus far. Now this is a difficulty 0 task, but you still get an assist by the runabout. And that is 2 successes. So that's a total of 4 successes, bringing your total of momentum up to 5, and you can move 1 space away.
Okay. We're going to move 1 space.
Okay. After Dizrak is Xandra, who up until a second ago was howling like a Valkyrie.
Yeah.
Now she's looking more nervous than she has been.
Absolutely. Yes.
Sensors are damaged. She's giving you the sensors are damaged. Engines are down. We've taken a big hit. Shields are down. What do we do?
Marcus orders for torpedoes full spread.
Torpedoes full spread. Screw all these shields and everything business. We are going to fire torpedoes like a mofo. They are within range. I'm assuming you're shooting them at Bassa.
Yes.
All right.
Of course.
Yeah, you can fire away. You also have 5 momentum.
I'm confident in her. We won't use momentum for the
actual shot. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so firing weapons. That is a control plus security plus a weapons plus security.
Okay. So she's got photon torpedoes as a focus, so we're throwing that in.
Beauty. You did choose a security officer as your con person in a dogfight.
Yeah.
That was a good move.
I honestly thought she'd be the first one picked.
I kind of did it as well. Celis wanted to get to know Dizrak more.
Yeah.
I wanted to bond with Falk. I yearned.
All right, that's 1 success. You need 2 successes for a hit. That does not do it.
Crap.
The photon torpedo goes wide, and Xandra lets fly with an impressive display of Klingon cuss word.
Marcus is impressed.
Oh, I thought for sure that would have been a real good rejoinder to the last shot, but
Yep.
But
crud.
Yeah, crud indeed. All right. After Xandra is Zeg. Zeg is on con.
Yeah. We're headed into the wormhole.
That's a maneuver task.
Yeah.
All right. Maneuver is a control plus con task with difficulty 0, assisted by engines plus con. That is 1 success. It's already successful, but you do need to roll the... You're up to 5 momentum. And you're at 6 momentum. Excellent. And I'll move you down to
Back out the wormhole.
down to the other worm.
Perfect.
So out of the wormhole in front of Celis, woof, comes Bassa. All right. After Zeg is back up to Celis Argel on operations. You have no power left. 1 point of shields. What are you going to do? You have 5 momentum.
5 momentum to spend.
Yeah.
At this point, would this be considered long range?
This would be considered... Oh, it's really close, isn't it?
It's 2 zones away.
2 zones away is long range. Yep.
Okay. So the...
Yeah.
The create advantage ability available to command. I'm scrolling.
Who's typing really hard?
That's likely to be me scrolling through.
Oh, okay. I was like, wow, that was... So yeah, in the command actions, let's see. So, where are you seeing create advantage? Oh, I see. Page 221 under tasks. Create advantage. The character attempts to create some favorable circumstance that benefits their side. This is a task with a difficulty of 2, using attribute, discipline, and focus, if any, based on how they're trying to gain the advantage. If successful, the character creates an advantage at the game master's discretion. Depending on the nature of the advantage being created, the ship may assist in this task. So how are you going to try to create an advantage?
I want to try and make, anticipating that we're going to be attacked, like jam their sensors or make us more difficult to target in some way.
Okay. Any ideas in a appropriately Star Trekian way to do that?
Vent the warp plasma. That always works.
Appropriately Trekkie way. I don't know. We could start shooting deflector particles at their sensor array.
Great.
Sounds like a thing.
We could pull a Janeway and fire tachyons at it.
Tachyons for everyone.
All right, so you are going to create an advantage by making yourself harder to target.
Okay.
I love it. I think that's great. So yes, what you can do is roll a reason plus engineering test.
Okay.
And this can be assisted by the runabout using engines plus sensors.
Okay, 2d20. Now I would argue...
that makes no sense. Sorry.
Oh.
Engines plus engineering.
Oh.
That makes way more sense.
Okay, so this is reason plus engineering.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now one of the focuses that my character has is astronavigation, which I think peripherally relates to what we're... I mean, what is disrupting sensors if not disrupting astronavigation, sort of?
I'll allow it.
Excellent. 20, applicable focus.
Getting dirty looks from Vanessa right now, though, but... 1 success.
And...
Ooh. No.
That was not only not successful, but there's a complication.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, so you do release a particle beam or tachyon pulse into the area. What you neglected to compensate for was the fluctuations that are happening in your shielding right now because of the damage that they've taken so far. And so instead of releasing out as a kind of submolecular or subatomic cloud around you that would make you harder to hit, they stick to the shields, painting you as a target, making any attempt to hit you as a -1 for 1 turn.
Fantastic.
Lovely. All right.
Huh.
After Celis has been so helpful, Marcus, it's up to you.
All right. Since it would have to be the operations person who would have to get the engines back on, right?
Either of you can take your turn out to do repairs.
All right.
So your sensors are down right now because there's repair. Your shields are down, which is probably an operations task to bring them back online. But now, as far as your engines, I would allow either of you to just shut things down and bring them back online.
Okay.
And these haven't been damaged in any way, so it's a difficulty 0 task. It just takes time.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have a lot of stuff going on right now.
I do.
Yeah.
Prioritizing.
Yeah, it is. That is interesting. And it'll be interesting if you get into ship combat on something the size of the Bonaventure, because you could have lots of complications over lots of areas, right? Whereas in the runabouts, generally, like, you get a couple of competitions, then you blow up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know what, I'm gonna spend my time. I'm gonna get the sensors back online. I'm gonna work on the sensors.
Okay. So that is a difficulty 3 repair task.
All right, this will be fun. So that would be.
You have 5 points of momentum. And if you do the successful repair, then that removes the breach.
Okay.
And this would be you physically getting out of your chair, running over to a panel, opening it up, like putting out the fire that's in there, and then just like fixing things, pulling out chips and whatever.
Yeah. So he's getting up. He's running to the back. He tries to take the panel off, but it goes, ooh, that's hot. He kind of stretches his sleeves down and throws the thing across the runabout, grabs the fire extinguisher, and so this would be what kind of insight and engineering? I can't find the.
Let me just double check if they actually say what it is, and if not, I'll make a call.
Okay.
Let's see. Damaged. No, they don't say. So what I'm going to call it is that it is going to be a daring plus engineering test.
I can live with that. Yeah, that's good. My guy's pretty daring.
I'll use the daring in this instance because, like, literally, like, fire's happening, sparks are coming out of consoles.
Okay. And would my focus of impulse engines fit in here?
No, not on fixing the sensors.
Oh, right, I'm on sensors. Oh, yeah, I forgot what I was doing.
That's 2 successes.
Okay.
You needed 3 for that repair.
I did. I forgot to say I was using momentum.
Yes, you did. So that is unsuccessful. You are still repairing.
Shoot. Okay.
Okay. After that is Dr. Bassa.
All right. So now I have a really good target.
Yes, you do. As you guys are coming up, Zeg is complaining about how this fight has been going way too long, and whoever made this simulation obviously didn't understand how zones work and stuff like this all the way, and then sees Celis and he's just like, oh, I think he's trying to mess with our targeting. No, I can, yeah, we can hit him really well now.
Okay. Well, I think we should probably go and hit them. Well then.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
I think you're right. Yeah.
okay.
No offense, Captain, but
It's a very agreeable spaceship, that one.
No kidding.
All right. So to do phasers, that costs energy, right?
it does cost
Yes.
energy. Yeah. And phasers are medium range, so you're slightly out of range for that.
So we'll do torpedoes then.
Okay. You come out of the warp. He fires off the tachyon, and you're fiery mini photon.
Yeah. So control and security.
Still technically have shields up. Let's see.
He still has shields up.
Yeah. They're damaged, but they're up.
Right.
Shields at 25%.
How much momentum do I have?
Oh, you have 6.
Does Michael have any momentum?
Michael has 5.
Because one of the uses of momentum is creating a problem for the other player. He can, for every 2 momentums he spends, he can increase the difficulty of this task by 1.
Ooh, interesting.
Wish I had known that.
So
I've
right
been
now,
reading.
it is a 1 to hit because you get that bonus because he's
Bonus.
right. So Michael, you could spend 4 momentum and increase that to a difficulty 3 if you so.
I wish to spend 4 momentum.
Okay. That brings you down to 1 momentum.
I want to do whatever it takes to hit him with my momentum.
So
You can buy 3 dice.
Okay.
now
That's all your momentum.
all your momentum for 3 dice.
Sure. Why not?
Okay, you're down to 0 momentum. You get 3 additional dice, and this is a difficulty 3 task.
Ooh.
Oh
And then
my.
computer.
Only one.
2 successes. You do not hit.
Rats.
Wow.
That was bad.
Wow. I thought for sure the captain was going down.
I thought so too.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you do to create a complication for them as this was all happening? You realize you've accidentally painted yourself as an easier target. You did something to...
He mooned us.
What did you do, Michael?
Fiddling with the console, we were able to disperse those particles in such a way as they were originally intended. So rather than painting us, it made it more difficult to hit us, and that is why she missed.
So kind of as they dispersed very quickly, they kind of accidentally targeted the echo that was going off your shields, and the torpedo flies wide. Wow. Great move. Great move. Next up is Dizrak on Con.
Okay, so Dizrak is...
I love that you guys are having this fight while Tim's over there on the other side of the map trying to fix his burning ship.
What is the shield?
I'll take whatever breather I get.
Sorry, Michael?
What is the shield status of the other runabout here?
Of their runabout, they have full power to their shield. 100%.
Huh.
And they have modulated their shields as well, so they have a resistance of 7.
Okay.
You currently have 1 momentum.
I have 1 momentum, and going to impulse requires power.
Yes, it does, and you have no power.
No power. Okay.
I find ramming to be effective in this situation.
By effective, he does mean that he committed suicide with that ramming maneuver.
Effective really in getting yourself out of an unwinnable situation faster.
All right, we're going to plot a course and putter along, continue the conversation we were having.
Okay.
Hearing all about antiques. It was kind of boring, but, you know, he's a nice guy.
All right, so what are you doing?
I think it is plotting a course.
Plotting a course is the task?
I don't think that's a task.
Or, hang on.
Looking busy at work.
Looking busy. Helm, here we go.
You can do maneuver, evasive action. Attack pattern.
No, you cannot do attack pattern, evasive action, warp, or impulse because they all require power.
Yeah. Okay. He can plot a course. It's in the navigator section.
Oh.
Yeah. Or I can maneuver.
Although maneuvering, I mean, plotting the course doesn't really do anything for you right now. It would only make things easier if, you know, you were using a power maneuver. And it makes it easier.
Okay. Let's see here. All right. Gonna maneuver them.
Okay.
So that is a
control plus con task with a difficulty of 0.
Okay.
Assisted by engines plus con.
Con D20, applicable focus. Yes.
That is 3 successes on a difficulty 0. So you do go up to 4 momentum.
Okay. Like to, well, we're just going to move and take those momentum and put them in the bank.
Okay.
So we're closing.
Closing. All right. Going in for that ram. So that was Dizrak. Now Zandra.
Zandra she's going to regenerate the shields.
Okay.
So that is, let me just scroll and find it.
So that is a power requirement of 1.
Yep, we have that.
Okay, requires a control plus engineering task with a difficulty of 1, assisted by structure plus engineering. The difficulty increases by +1 if the ship's shields are at 0, which is the case, I think. And you can regain 2 points of shields and 2 more if you spend a point of momentum. So this is a difficulty 2 task with a power cost of 1.
Okay. We're going to spend 1 point of momentum on the roll.
Okay. You're down to 4 momentum.
Mm-hmm.
Gives you an extra dice. There's 2 successes, so you are successful in bringing your shields back online with 2. And if you spend a point of momentum, you can bring them back to full with 4.
Okay, this is for the
Chip, and that's an additional 2,
Chip.
so you're up to 6 momentum. Would you like to spend
Okay.
one of those to bring that up to a 4 shield?
Yes, that'll take them up to full, right?
That's right.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, your shields are up and at 100%. So she brought the shields back online. She's ready to go. They are completely regenerated. You still have no engines and and your sensors are damaged, but your shields are up. So that's progress.
It's progress.
All
Moving
right,
forward.
Zeg. Zeg is also on con.
It's true. Zeg is going to take evasive action.
Okay. So this is evasive action. That's a daring plus con task with a difficulty of 1. Assisted by structure plus. Does have a power requirement of 1. So
yes. Thank you. Where are you?
I think you're the only one with power left.
Yeah, I think so.
How many power do they have left?
I think 1.
1.
Sorry, I'm just having to open up Zeg again. She's being mean.
Too bad. I'm sorry to hear that. Daring plus con.
There we go.
1 success.
1. And
So it only had a difficulty of 1, so that is successful.
yeah, we're just going to do the computer. There's some weird things going on. There we go. And there we go.
And
Just
no
1.
more successes. So you do not generate any momentum. You're still at 0 momentum. But any attack made on you will be increased by 1 difficulty as you're taking evasive action.
Yes.
Okay. Zeg is trying their best. All
We're
right.
doing stuff.
Okay. Back up to Celis. They are taking evasive action. You've got 4 momentum. You're on operations. What do you do?
Can we, question.
Yeah.
Dizrak is on helm. Celis is on operations.
That's right.
If Celis wants to, can he perform a helm task?
No.
No. Okay.
That being said, in the commanding officer section, you can do a direct task. You provide clear and concise orders, and you choose one other officer currently on the bridge. That officer attempts a single task determined by the CO. CO assists this task using the command skill. The action may be used only once per scene by a character who has access to it. So if you want Dizrak to make a con check, you can do this command task once per scene. David Humphreys actually used this task to double up on their movement one time.
Now, question regarding evasive maneuvers. Do they last for a single turn?
A single turn.
A single turn.
And they require power.
Okay. So Celis is going to... I can't. Going to use the... attempt to use the create advantage.
Okay.
Create advantage skill again.
Okay.
I'm thinking we have all those free floating particles around from this earlier attempt to get them. They were stuck on the hull. Now they're dispersed.
Right.
And now we're going to use the deflector array to shoot them right back at her.
And what are you trying to create an advantage to do?
Or sorry, no, not back at her. Trying to use advantage to make us, again, harder to target.
Okay.
So kind of reusing that Cloud-O
particles. Okay.
Cloud-O particle.
Sure. In this particular case, I think that it makes sense for it to be a reason plus science test.
Okay. Applicable focus. Now, unfortunately, you did agree earlier that this had something to do with astronavigation.
That's right. One success. This is a difficulty 2 test. The runabout can assist with a sensors plus engineering test. It is not successful.
Damn it.
These dice are getting swingy late in the battle.
These particles are not doing me any favors.
They really
all
are.
The way here.
Cannot seem to pull the Janeway maneuver. Marcus, you're up. Marcus?
I hate it when I mute my mic. Let's fix these sensors.
All right, that's a difficulty 3 task. You have 5 momentum.
Mm-hmm. We're going to use momentum to buy 2 extra dice.
Okay. So I think that's 3 momentum.
Yep. Is this still a daring and engineering task?
It is.
All right.
I like that your ship is slowly getting back ready. You guys are furiously sciencing as hard as you can. That is 3 successes. You still can roll, or no, you don't get an assist. So that is 3 successes. Nope. Your sensor breach has been repaired.
Ha!
All right. Now you just need to turn on the engines and you're good to go.
Yeah.
All right. Dr. Bassa.
All right. Can I fire torpedoes from this range?
Absolutely.
No? Okay. Then that's what I'm going to do.
Okay. You have no momentum.
No.
Okay.
So I just got to go with what I got.
Go with what you got.
We are going to spend one of our points of momentum to make this a more difficult task.
You need to spend 2. It's
2
per. Yep. 2 per point of difficulty increased.
So you have 4 momentum to spend right now.
Let's use both.
Okay, all 4 momentum. So you're down to 0 momentum, but this task difficulty is increased by 2. So it is now a level 4 or difficulty 4 task.
All right.
These tachyons are really working for you.
They are.
He's sciencing like crazy in there.
They're not doing what he wants them to do, but they're still working.
That's 1 success. Still possible.
No.
2 successes.
9.
You do not hit. Another one of the torpedoes flies past Celis's runabout. All right. Celis straight up is a survivor. I am so impressed with how he's holding in there. Dizrak?
All right. Dizrak is going to maneuver us right on top of / behind them in as far as he's able. So he's going to perform a maneuver.
Now, are you trying to enter the wormhole, or are you just going into that area?
Nothing to do with the wormhole, specifically about gaining an advantage on Dr. Bassa.
Okay, so you are doing a maneuver task.
Okay.
That's
Dizrax. So that's control plus con.
No, wait. Are you gaining a maneuver task, or are you trying to create an advantage?
Oh, actually. Just the maneuver task.
Okay. So that is a control plus con. That's one success. So you do it, and you gain a point of momentum while doing it. You also get an assist from the engines plus con. That is another success. So you now have 2 momentum, and you can maneuver 1 square or 1 zone away.
All right. So we're maneuvering towards the wormhole as well as towards Dr. Bassa's ship.
Right.
And we've maneuvered behind them.
Okay. Sounds good. You've slid in behind as you've gotten into the same zone. After Dizrock is Zandra.
Okay. Zandra is going to modulate the shields.
Okay. See. Modulate shields.
That is a control and security task. Difficulty of 2. Oh, no, wait. I'm reading the wrong thing.
It has a power requirement of 1.
Oh, frug. Okay. Never mind. Then we're not doing that. She's going to restart the engines.
All right. Fair enough. So Marcus puts the thing out. He's finally fixed. The sensors come back online. He starts running towards the desk. Towards the controls. She's got the shields up, and she's quickly typing away. When she's like, "I'm trying to bring up the engines," and away you go. It is a difficulty 0 task to bring up the engine.
Okay.
And
that is
this
control and con.
This will be no.
No?
This will be a reason plus engineering.
Okay.
Maybe not the security officer's strong suit, but still.
No.
It's only
It's
difficulty
worth a
1.
crack.
No successes. The runabout can assist with an engines plus engineering test. One success. That's all you needed. You gain 1 point of momentum, up to 3. Your shields are up. Your sensors are back online. The breach has been repaired, and your engines are online. You're ready to fight again. You guys both fist bump, and you're ready to go. All right,
yeah.
Zeg.
We're going to maneuver out of the way, out of whatever the heck Captain's trying to do with us here.
Okay.
Because that's annoying. So that's what we're going to do.
Okay. Maneuver is a control plus con, assisted by engines plus con. Ooh. 2 successes plus a 3rd success. So
Sweet.
3 total successes, which go up to 3 momentum, and you can maneuver 1 in any direction. Okay. Start flying away from the wormhole as he flies at it.
Yeah, you're like, no.
No. So he comes up behind you, and you just hit the...
Right, because we were just kind of at the end of this evasive, and he tries to come and pull stuff on us, and we're like, yeah, no. Sorry.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
Okay, after Zeg is Celis Argel. Your prey is getting away. You are at the mouth of the wormhole, which either is good or bad because Marcus is eventually coming through that wormhole, I'm assuming. Michael?
I also hate it when I mute myself. Now, one of the focuses for Celis is Starfleet protocols.
Okay.
Now, it's unclear, or you could remind me, would this refer specifically to kind of, duty performance etiquette stuff? Or could this refer to, say, I don't know, the command codes on a runabout?
I envision it more as a social thing, right?
Okay.
So rules, regulations, those sorts of things. Less so to like security code. But
Okay.
I love where your mind's at.
Okay. So
it's like Michael has tasted blood for the first time, and now suddenly I'm seeing a focus and aggression out of him that I'm really enjoying.
I'm really disappointed you said that. I was looking forward to cutting through their shields and beaming Dr. Bassa into space.
Oh man, that would have been amazing. Just turn off the shields. Done.
We can just not tell her that that's on my mind. And
that's fair.
What are you talking about? I just had to plug in the computer because it was going to die. I had power issues here.
Yeah. Well, he tried to figure out if he could do some things that would have ended with the untimely demise of your character, but unfortunately didn't have the right skills.
No. So let's fire at them.
Okay. And I'm assuming, since you have no power, that you're going to be firing a photon torpedo.
That is correct.
All right. This is a difficulty 2 task to hit.
Okay. And we have 4 momentum.
You have 2 momentum.
2. Actually, hold that thought. We're not going to fire at them. We are going to... I'm going to be, Celis had this really great talk with Dizrak.
Right.
We really bonded.
Mm-hmm.
And now during this very tense moment, the captain's going to give him a pep talk. It's going to rally.
Oh.
For the purpose of creating a bunch of momentum.
Okay. Yeah, so you start, that is a presence plus command task.
Okay. Presence.
The 2 key command skills.
Applicable focus. Could Starfleet protocols could fit in this? I'm giving him a pep talk about being a great officer.
Absolutely.
He's got this.
1 success. That is a point of momentum that has been generated. You're now up to 3.
Well,
wasn't as inspiring as you had hoped, but
he's like feeling moderately pepped.
Okay, yeah, he
like
is.
Medium.
Yeah, I think we could do this. Yeah,
Marcus.
Given the previous discussion of antiques, I think moderately pepped is about as good as you can go for.
Marcus, you are up. Your craft is ready and raring to go. Out of power, but otherwise fine.
Question: how aware am I of what's going on the other side of this wormhole?
You're not aware at all.
Okay. Then we are going to maneuver towards the wormhole.
Okay. So maneuver is a control plus con task.
Okay.
Helped with engines.
That's 2. And I have Helm's operations as a focus.
Ooh, 3 successes. Now your assistance from the ship. And you're at full momentum, at 6 momentum.
Okay.
So, you still have to roll the assist just in case it's a complication.
Okay. What he can do is spend 2 momentum to create an advantage of some sort on the situation. So that momentum doesn't go to waste. Also, we've been playing momentum wrong, but I'll explain that when we're done with the combat.
Oh. Okay.
There's no point in creating an advantage because it only lasts for 1 turn. Okay. And there's no one for me to be advantaged against.
Can you go faster with your advantage?
Not really.
That would be...
Just changes difficulty primarily. Okay, after... So that was Marcus, right?
Yep.
Dr. Bassa.
I'm going to shoot some torpedoes at the captain.
All right.
Attempt to actually hit him one of these times. That would be excellent.
Yeah. It is a level 2 task.
Which I will be adding 2 momentum to make it more difficult. These particles just won't go away.
Right. So now it is a level 3 task. And you have 3 momentum.
Yeah, I'm not using momentum for this.
You want to hit it and then spend all that momentum to kill him.
Right. Yeah.
I know your MO.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Control and security, correct? Yes.
Yeah, control and security plus weapons and security. 3. Difficulty 3. One.
No.
1 success. Those particles are a bear.
Just a dancing.
Yeah, bugger.
You have fired again and again and again.
I know.
And again at the captain.
Are our runabouts stocked with a finite number of torpedoes, or is she going to run out eventually?
I mean, it doesn't say that it is. I bet you I could look it up, and we're probably nearing the end.
But we're also in simulation, right?
Right.
So
I mean, I'm assuming the simulation would be pretty realistic.
Because that would be, but it would be really lame to have you like run out of power, not be able to do anything other than ram each other, right?
I agree.
Well, combat is lame, and this is training for combat, so...
Combat is lame. Interesting.
Sometimes you run out of ammo in combat.
He's in the Federation. You think combat's lame? All right, after Dr. Bassa is Dizrak on the con.
Okay, so Dizrak is going to... he's thinking about these runabouts, and the captain's got him all inspired. And he's thinking about his fondness for starship history and antiques, and he's thinking, man, these runabouts are kind of crappy and old. So he's going to scan for weakness.
And for weakness. The dog does not like that plan.
No, I think the dog's found weakness.
Oh, I see. So that is a control plus science task with a difficulty of 1, assisted by sensors and security.
Okay.
And it increases by 1 because you're not in close range, you're at medium range. So it's a difficulty 2 task.
Okay, so that's control plus science.
Mm-hmm.
Applicable focus. Not really.
1 success.
Okay.
And that's only 1 success on a difficulty 2. So that does not, you do not get a weakness out of your scan. Fortunately.
Shucks.
After Dizrak is Xandra.
Okay. What can she do? She is... She's going to run a sensor sweep, see if her sensors can jump through the wormhole and get information from the other side. That's best I can see. Or no, I know what she's going to do. Can she launch a probe?
Launching a probe, a thing?
Yeah. It's
there
totally
it is.
okay.
Sensor probe to study a situation in... it does not require a roll, has no difficulty. However, it reduces the difficulty of tasks to make a sensor sweep with regards to phenomena near the probe by 2 and determines the range for scan for weaknesses from the probe. That means that hazards that result from the proximity of phenomena affect the probe instead of the vessel. You certainly can launch a probe.
I want to launch it through the wormhole.
You don't see
Get
why
a picture of what's on the other side.
I don't see why you couldn't.
That's what I'm going to do.
Okay, so you fire a probe. It does not require a roll. The probe goes through the wormhole, and your guys' end of the wormhole flares open, and a probe comes out. You do get telemetry from the probe immediately as it's keeping a subspace link open to your craft, and you do see the battle happening between Celis and Bassarin.
All right.
So any kind of sensor sweep or anything that happens, you can use the probe as your range. But that is your action this round.
All right.
Now the probe is destroyed if it takes 1 down.
Fair enough.
All right. After Xandra is Zeg. Zeg on the con.
Yeah, I was wondering for this battle if, am I considered the commanding officer and can do commanding officer thing?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to rally. Oh no, she's rallying. It's her. Never mind. I'm thinking ahead to me. What is she going to do?
Yes, Zeg.
That's a great question.
Great question.
It's very, very good. So much maneuvering. She's going to maneuver back 1.
Okay. So maneuver is a control plus con task, assisted by engines plus con.
Yeah.
That's no successes.
Oof. Ouch. Oh no.
That is a success and a complication. So you did get a success, which increases your momentum to 4.
Mm-hmm.
You are able to spend 2 momentum to counteract a complication. Just as an FYI, that is.
Would you like to counteract that complication?
No, let's own it.
Okay. I'm going to say that your power reserves drop by 1. You're now down to 0 power.
Okay.
Okay.
Torpedoes all the way.
All right. Next up is Celis Argel. And your sensors are showing her power systems are fluctuating, losing power out of nowhere.
Okay. Speaking of power, the power management ability.
Yeah.
The officer reroutes power from various systems, replenishing reserves. It requires a daring or control plus engineering task with a difficulty of 2.
Okay. On a success, you gain 1 point of power plus 1 point of power per momentum spend, which can exceed its normal maximum. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So
you're redirecting power from other systems, trying to gain a backlog of power so that you can use it. And
yeah.
All right.
So thinking control plus engineering.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, I'm kind of glad Celis is doing so well, because it would be crappy if the captain just got slaughtered in this simulation. That would not raise morale amongst the senior staff.
That's true.
But it would inspire me to know that my crew is so competent.
Well, I'm glad of the 400 people you're responsible for, one person would feel better about that outcome.
Yeah.
Okay. So dice pool, Pokeball focus.
2 successes, so that does succeed. You do get an assist.
Okay.
Oh no, you don't get an assist.
Never mind.
Too bad. You wasted a 1.
So you gain 1 point of power back, but you can increase the amount of power you get with a momentum spend.
Okay, and I have 3.
Right now you have 1 point of momentum.
All right, so let's use that point to get an extra bit of power.
Okay, so your power goes back up to 2.
Okay.
Okay. Rewrited power. Your power reserves are climbing. And after that, so after Celis is Marcus, I believe.
Okay. I'm going to hold my action and just wait for information from our probe.
Okay.
So no action right now.
Okay. So you're just gonna take no action. Pass. Dr. Bassa. I'm gonna go way on a limb and predict torpedoes.
I'm gonna shoot. Yeah, torpedoes. Right. Yep. One of these times.
Control plus security. Now, Celis, you have no momentum with which to use tachyons against them.
Damn it.
This is
Where are your particles now, buddy?
It's difficulty 2 task. That is 2 successes. That is a hit, which generates 2 momentum. And 2 more momentum. 2 more hits. So that brings you all the way to maximum momentum.
Excellent. I think there's that. What is it? Piercing thing?
High yield?
Yeah, so penetration. For penetration, 1, you can drop their resistance by 2. They have a resistance of 2, but why don't you start by rolling damage?
Right, it's 4d6.
Yeah.
6.
That is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with 2 effects, but the effects don't matter.
That's 5. So reduced by 2 resistance would be 3 points, which would effectively destroy the runabout.
I would like to destroy the runabout. Please and thank you.
No.
Kablooey.
There's my effect.
All right.
Sorry, Captain. You rallied to get all that power back, and then I destroyed you.
The effect is you're getting demoted. But
so Bassa's taken out. The doctor has taken out 2 of the senior staff.
No, just 1.
No, just 1.
Oh, right.
Just 1.
Okay.
I was just.
Oh, yeah, right. You
driving.
just smashed Marcus up real good before you wandered off and killed the captain.
Yeah, that's different.
So Marcus has taken out Kirid. Dr. Bassa has taken out Celis. Celis took out David. It's now down to Marcus and Dr. Bassa.
I think I get credit for an assist on myself.
No. So
I'm going to go ahead and claim it.
To set the scene, there is a probe at the mouth of the wormhole on Dr. Bass's side. Marcus is at the mouth of the wormhole on the other side.
We lost the captain, like for real. I took him out.
Oh.
He's gone.
And
wow.
All of those effects you rolled, you did too much effect.
I did. Oh, he's back.
Then Dr. Bassa is a medium or a long range away from the mouth of the wormhole. Dr. Bassa has full shields and remodulated shields, giving her a resistance of 7 and shields of 4 with no damage taken and no power currently. Marcus, after some field repairs, is back to 4 shields with 2 resistance and no power. No reserve power. Up next, after Dr. Bassa, is Xandra on ops.
She's going to use her probe to... Oh, wait. How long does that last? What's next attack? All right, yeah. She's going to use the probe to scan for weakness.
Okay. Now, what's the range on the scan?
The difficulty increases by 1 for each range category beyond close between the ship and the chosen target.
All right.
In this case, the probe.
So it is at long range, so that'll increase difficulty by 2. So it's a difficulty of 1, so that's total difficulty of 3.
Okay, and how much momentum do we have?
You have 6 momentum.
Control, science. We will use 1 point of momentum.
Okay. By an additional dice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And would this fall under tactics for focus?
No. Control plus science task. Difficulty 3, 1 extra dice purchased.
She's scanning for a weakness, though. It's figuring out where to hit the ship for the best. I think that's a tactic.
No.
You suck. You gave the guy astronavigation for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot, I forgot the momentum point.
You can roll an additional d20 now. I think that's a success, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
So
Just
that's
barely.
2 successes out of the necessary 3, and you're being assisted by sensors plus security. You require 1 more success to do a successful scan for weakness.
Come on.
That is an additional success. You have successfully scanned for weakness. That means on the vessel's next attack, before the sensor operator's next turn, gains the piercing 2 quality, which ignores 2 of the target's resistance per effect rolled.
Okay. So if I have to, would that mean that that on Xandra's next turn, even though she's the one who has to fire the torpedoes, the thing is done?
Yes.
Rats. I didn't think of that.
Oh, but she can. It's at the end of her turn.
Oh, it ends. Okay.
Yeah, and in addition to the piercing, if any bonus d20s are purchased for that next attack, it inflicts a +1 damage or +1 challenge dice damage for each bonus d20 purchased.
That's good news. Okay, thank you.
Yep. So you found a weakness using your probe. That was weird. Zeg?
I love what she's saying.
Yeah, I was just mumbling to myself. I wasn't actually saying anything, so I was still muted. I was just going and a lot, so that's all you missed. I'm going to. I see the probe there.
Yep.
I think I'm just gonna wait because obviously they're up and running again, and they're gonna come through. So, yeah.
All right. So you hold back. You pass your egg passes. So now it's up to Marcus on con.
Okay, we're going through the wormhole.
That's a maneuver task.
Two, and I have a focus.
That's 3 successes. We're back up to full momentum.
Okay.
And you still need to roll your fist.
Yeah, here it comes.
Okay. And you can maneuver. So if you're maneuvering into the wormhole, is what I'm hearing?
Yes.
All right, I'll move you down. You emerge from the other side next to your probe, facing Dr. Bassa. The final showdown.
Yes.
There's like a significant amount of tachyons in the area.
What did they do?
What
happened here?
All right. After that is Dr. Bassa on ops.
Guess what I'm gonna do?
Guess what I'm gonna
Sensor sweep?
Ram them.
I'm not gonna ram them.
It could work.
It could really fail as well. I'm gonna shoot with missiles.
Photon
I'm gonna
torpedoes?
Yeah.
I'm gonna spend 2 momentum to make it 1 point harder.
Okay.
And the native difficulty for torpedoes is a 3.
See, I thought that earlier, but okay.
Also, in future combats, whenever we fire torpedoes, we generate 1 point of threat. So there'd be so much threat in the air now.
I did know that. But you're not going to generate
in
threat
this case,
because you're doing PvP.
It's a simulation.
Yeah, and threat is something I throw at you, not another player.
You should totally be throwing the threat in their face, creating difficulty.
All right,
your engine spontaneously falls off.
I would have so much threat by now, you guys. So this is a difficulty 4 task, but since we've been running these at difficulty 2, I'm going to allow that. So difficulty 3 task, just so we don't change the game up last second.
Yes, please. It would be sad.
1 success out of a necessary 3.
Computer. No.
Miss. So you emerge from the wormhole, and a photon torpedo flies past you into the wormhole. And next up is Xandra.
All right. Photon torpedoes full spread.
All right. She started playing Wagner on the overhead, the Ride of the Valkyries.
Yeah. Marcus looks over and goes, nice. He's getting pretty attracted to her, too. And I have photon torpedoes, so that's going to be a focus.
All right.
And 4. We'll throw 1 point of momentum into it.
Okay. That buys an additional dice.
Okay.
If this hits, this could really do some damage.
You could. Probably will.
Oh.
That's 3, so that definitely does hit. Now roll damage.
That's not damage.
That's for the assist.
Yeah. So you're back up to 6 momentum.
Okay. And we'll be throwing all kinds of momentum into the damage too.
Yeah, so remember that you have the piercing of 2 quality for every effect that you roll, right?
Okay.
And you get a +1 damage dice. So instead of 4, you roll 5 damage dice.
Okay. I'm gonna roll the dice first.
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4 with 1 effect. You already are ignoring 2 of her damage resistance.
2 of her damage resistance, which drops it down to a 5. Now, are you going to spend momentum other stuff? So penetration,
Yes, I am.
or
More piercing.
Yeah, we're gonna do more piercing, more penetration.
okay. So for every
Um,
1 point that you spend, so right now her resistance is at 5. If you spend 3 momentum, her resistance would drop to 0.
We're gonna do 3 points to penetration and then 3 points of bonus damage.
Okay. So that will bring your your damage, her resistance down to 0, and your damage total up to 9,
Yeah.
which is going to collapse her shields and destroy her.
Do it.
Boom!
Yeah, I win.
Way to go, Marcus. It was touch
Marcus
and go
and
there
Xandra.
for a while.
Marcus and Xandra jump up and hug each other.
Xandra kisses you straight on the mouth, and then catches herself and pushes you off her.
Now stop that.
At that point, the simulation ends, and the people that were destroyed had been beamed to the observation area. And you just see Marcus, everybody's watching from the observation area down into the holodeck as Xandra and Marcus are embraced, and everyone just saw that.
Well, that was awkward.
I say it out loud. Just laughs.
She just
Marcus
goes red.
So is Marcus. Marcus is quite red too.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be fun.
Ithrasi ignores what just happened as though it doesn't matter, because to her it doesn't. And then proceeds to launch into about a 20-minute debrief on all the mistakes everybody made. And talking about how they can best do that for the next time she schedules one of these. She thought it was very important, and she does have special commendations for people who performed above and beyond. She says...
Wow. I don't know what that is in your language, but wow. I'm moved.
The captain's pet targ is also celebrating. So.
That was perfectly timed. I opened my mouth and... All right.
I make sure I take notes as Ithrasi is going through what we should have done, because I really didn't know what's going on.
Yeah,
that's okay.
So Ithrasi does point out that the idea that Marcus and Xandra won actually isn't as commendable as anything else because they're exactly the team that you would expect to win in this combat. That being said, overcome adversity, improved your skills and training. Way to go. She has special appreciation for how Zik acted under pressure. Though Zik seemed to get very emotional, and this is definitely not what she trained for. She was commendable and did everything very well that she was asked of. She mentions that she takes a lot of comfort in the fact that David will never be in command of a starship. Because the suicide run he did at the captain was foolish. Big props out to the captain and Dizrak, who, under very difficult circumstances, not only scored a kill, but held off eventual defeat by Dr. Bassa for a long time through use of unconventional advantages created. Last but definitely not least, Dr. Bassa and Zeg themselves. That was an impressive feat to be one of the last two standing, to have a kill under their belts for a doctor and the chief of the boat to get to that point is incredible. And then thank you so much for coming. So
does he say anything about Kirit? She could say anything about Kirit.
Oh yeah, what were you thinking? You could actually be in charge of a starship. Anytime the captain's incapacitated, you're in charge. You chose to ram someone? What possessed you to think that would work?
And I will defend my actions in that the clever ambush laid out by Marcus, he had gained the entire momentum in that fight. There was no way that I could gain enough time to compensate to try and overcome his shields. It was a last-ditch effort to try and regain momentum and have any chance of pulling out of that fight, because I could see ahead to that fight there was no recovering. His phenomenal shot and destruction of my shields, the outcome of that fight was inevitable. It was a last-ditch effort to try and salvage it.
Ithrasi points at Marcus and Xandra and says, they were knocked out of this fight twice. Nothing's inevitable.
I would disagree with you in that, and that they had time in both cases to recover. I was not afforded such luxury.
Well, hopefully you are not in a position to give the order for ramming speed. With respect, sir, while you're at the helm, or while in command of the bridge of the Bonaventure.
Understood.
All right. Captain, do you have any final thoughts for this exercise?
Just that the captain was impressed by the thoughtfulness and resourcefulness of his crew.
You know, sometimes, sorry to interrupt, Captain, but it really puts me at unease when you refer to yourself in third person all the time.
Ah, well, too bad. I'm the captain. I was very pleased with the way the crew performed and the resourcefulness that they demonstrated, and feel somewhat reassured that as a team we'll be able to come together when an actual crisis happens to, not be on the losing end.
Great. If everyone's dismissed, you can all go off to your own jobs and whatnot. I want to take a short break here so I can attend to some things. And then after that, we will go into everyone's scene. All right?
I'm assuming by attend some things, he's like baking a cake.
I hope so. I'd love a cake.
Yeah.
I doubt that's happening.
Me too. I'd be really impressed if that's what happened.
I would be very jealous, though, because I can't have any.
Yeah.
Well, more to the point that he'd have to send it, and by the time it got here, I don't think I'd want it.
Yeah, maybe. Canada Post isn't all that, and I'm guessing U.S. Post isn't all that gentle.
I was about to say, if the Canada Post itself can just get it to me, I'd be all right with that.
Yes.
I actually kind of rammed you because I was kind of bored. It was taking way too long, and it was, not a well-designed board game, so I thought that'd be fun.
Yeah, it was a little large.
Yeah.
I'm very glad he added the wormhole.
Also, you had all the momentum. There was one outcome to that fight unless something drastic happened.
I mean, given the amount of times we've rolled complications, it could happen. I mess up.
In theory, if you would have missed on 2 attacks, I would have enough time to get back power and then get back shields and then modulate them again. But your shields were a strength of 9. I didn't have momentum. Without momentum, you can do nothing. So I just, it was fun. Also, if I could have gotten through and I was close to getting through, that could have at least put you more on the defensive.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. Plus, it was awesome.
Yes, I have just this image of you bouncing off my ship and then me turning around and just plowing through yours.
Yeah. Yep. No, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I learned that momentum, we don't each have our own momentum stockpile.
It's a group thing, right?
There's only one group stockpile of momentum, so 6 momentum for all of us.
Yeah.
Not individually, each of us having 6.
I think you did that just because we were each in our own vessels.
In this case, it actually made sense because each of us acted as our own team, but this is how we've been playing it up to this point.
No, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
We've always had one group momentum, except in this circumstance.
Oh, well, never mind then. I was wrong.
Yeah. Is that what you were saying about momentum was being used wrong?
Yep.
And there's also a lot of things you can do with it, like create an advantage, create a problem, undo a complication, things like that.
A lot more than we've thought of, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's fun.
Creating advantage, I've been trying to wrap my head around it. As a rules guy, it is infuriatingly vague because the system is really awesome and that it inspires, creativity, and screw that. Tell me what to do.
Yeah, I specifically did the momentum this way for this thing, so everybody had their own individual.
It makes sense,
pools.
yeah.
But every other time we've had one pool for the group.
Clearly, we don't play often enough because I can't remember.
That's why we're playing tomorrow.
That's right. All right. Okay. Back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was calling Dizrak a Boolean. He's a benzite. I forgot all about that. Like control.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, we're going to do everybody's individual scenes. So what has happened is I've asked everybody to talk about a scene that they're going to have with one of the NPCs to elicit some more building of the relationships between the kind of B team on the Bonaventure that we've kind of been introducing and getting to know a little bit. And so the person we're going to start with is Marcus. And Marcus asked for a scene where you went to You're going to Dizrak's quarters to pick him up for a Helm Systems diagnostic. Now, yes. Okay, good to go. Good to know. So let's start there. So you walk up to his door to pick him up.
I press the chime button.
Okay, enter.
I walk in.
He's standing there. He has his breathing apparatus. He's one of the last Benzites to use the breathing apparatus, as they're falling out of favor with the Benzite people. And he looks up. What is your rank as lieutenant?
1 second. Lieutenant Commander.
Okay. Would everybody please put their rank in their names so that it displays up here? That would be super helpful, because sometimes people refer to each other as their ranks, and I just sometimes have a difficult time remembering. And the doctor and captain are easier to remember than everybody else. But, okay. Lieutenant, are you ready? You look into the room, and he's actually sitting at a table in his room working on a model. And the model, from where you are, is very clearly an NX class starship. NX from the original NX ships, from the Enterprise on.
Okay. I walk up to take a closer look at the model, and I ask, what are you working on?
I'm a great lover of antique ships. This is a model of the NX-02, the Columbia.
Columbia?
Yes, it was
I don't remember that one.
It was the second of the NX class ships after the Enterprise, captained by Jonathan Archer. Fascinating ship.
I've heard of the Enterprise and Captain Archer. I haven't heard as much about this one.
Well, they had their own adventures, if you will. Just imagine, at that time, they thought that Warp 5 under the old scale was about as fast as you could imagine, right? Had the original Warp 5 engine in it, and space must have seemed huge and strange. This was during a time, remember, that Ryza hadn't even terraformed. It was a swampy, stormy mess at that time. The world was so different. The Klingon Empire was in ascendancy. We had never even met the Romulans. Well, This ship actually did fight in the Romulan War, though.
How'd she do?
It was part of the decisive battle.
Glorious ship.
So fascinating. Back then, there was not nearly the distinction between Starfleet being an exploratory group, an effort, and a military. There used to be Mako unit, which were military infantry units, soldiers stationed on the ships.
That's fascinating. Mankind was definitely different back then. Be nice to have some of those on this ship.
Well, I think that was a different time for a reason. I personally prefer the idea that we only take up military arms when absolutely necessary as a defense force rather than as soldiers. I am more worried about this dominion that we're hearing more and more about.
As am I. As am I. I hear very frightening things about those Jem'Hadar.
Yes, Jem'Hadar. Apparently, they're genetically created. I guess if we do meet them, we might wish we had Mako on board.
Yes, we would. Marcus leans in and he's examining the model. He's like, I can't help but think how close this resembles an Akira-class vessel.
Good eye. It's said that the Akira-class vessel was inspired by the frame and low profile of the NX class. One of the side effects of this particular layout was actually that it provided a fantastically small profile for a warp bubble, which allowed them to hit warp 5. But also later on, they discovered that once they were able to add shields to the design, the shields could be compact and well-powered and very, very difficult. These class of ships didn't even have shields. They just polarized the hull to make it more difficult to target and dissipate energy quicker.
Wow. Humans were either brave or stupid.
Well, at the time, if you talk to the Vulcans, I think they would have had the answer as being stupid. But look at what they built.
Indeed. Well, hopefully we will not miss the Makos terribly.
Oh. I just love antique ships, though. That's why I volunteered to be assigned to the Bonaventure.
Oh. Yes. Well, shall we tinker with our antique and do this diagnostic?
After you, Lieutenant. End of scene. That was fantastic. Great. All right. Jake, Kirid, X. You are going to be in a learning session with Falk on the holodeck.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest, it's a yearning session.
Yes, Jake misspelled that, and it's become a subject of many jokes since. So, what do you envision this scene starting as?
Well, I envision this scene. Fox said that she wanted to have a chat with me about what happened in the simulation, so I figured that'd be a good place to start, and that actually really ties in well with what he is hoping to get across to her as to the importance of making decisions, of taking bold action to regain the initiative, of being bold, because her approach is very methodical, which is phenomenal. She's very good at what she does, but if she's ever in the field, it's a completely different ballgame.
And so are you asking to meet her kind of at the holodeck?
Yes, and specifically, I don't know, like, I'm not sure exactly the simulation, but something physical in nature, like doing a task on a planet, whether it's data collection or something where there's an element of danger, and it requires quick thinking and daring in order to be successful. And that's a big.
Well, this is your scene. You tell me.
My scene. Okay, so collecting plant samples on a foreign planet, and we come under attack by some of the native animal life.
Okay. All right. So you guys are in the holodeck together.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Its scene is in a forested area of the planet. The sky is purple above you, and the plants all have a reddish purple tinge. She's sitting there with her science tricorder and her kit strapped across her body, and he says, "Has the simulation started, Commander?"
Yes, it has. So our mission is to categorize some of the native plant life that we find in this forest. For many of it has properties heretofore that we have not seen, and so we need to catalog it for our records.
Excellent. I'll begin here. She bends down and starts taking samples, and as she does, you both hear a screeching roar from the forest.
Did you get any indication of where that came from?
Yes, Commander. I think it is to the north of us.
Okay, what would you advise we do in our sample collection?
Immediately stop the sample collection and defend ourselves if necessary.
We cannot let danger prevent us from accomplishing our mission. We have to continue. There are two of us here. We can split up, and we can split roles into data collection and protection.
All right, Commander, would you please unholster your phaser and protect me while I take these samples?
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Now, move towards this side away from the forest so you have a clear vantage to the north. You want to make sure your eyes are always able to see where a threat can come from and leave yourself the most time to react.
Yes, of course. She tentatively goes down. She's looking as much at you as she is at the forest, and then she starts taking some more samples. You guys hear another roar. It's much closer this time.
Keep focusing on your task. I trust you to do your duty. You trust me to do mine. I will advise you when the situation becomes more urgent.
Yes, Commander. At this point, I would ask, in a normal away team situation, to have a transporter lock on both of us.
It's already done.
She continues to begin taking her samples. When you see the beast come around the corner, it is a huge, hairy beast with two tusks and great big claws and red eyes, and it comes lumbering out of the forest towards you and does that screeching roar one more time. She looks up and you hear the word "sell it" as she says, "Commander, I suggest opening fire."
Instead, what I'm going to do, ship, beam us up, please.
Okay, you both beam up. Once you're in the transporter pad on the simulated in the simulation, she says, "I did not complete the task."
I understand. Officer, could you please beam us down into that forest, approximately 3 clicks to the east?
The transporter chief beams you down. You transport down, and you're in the forest again.
No, fuck. Where possible, we always try to avoid harming in any way, even stunning, the native life, as we don't know the ramifications that this is going to have. We have many tools at our disposal, and always, always use them.
That is logical. She begins finishing up her task, and she says, "Commander, I don't know if you're aware. You programmed this simulation?"
Yes.
The beast that you programmed in, you pull it at random from the database?
Mm-hmm. Why? Is there something specific about it?
It's a cellet. It's a Vulcan animal. I had one as a pet when I was a child.
Is this out of place for this sort of beast to?
Well, it is a desert creature, but it can feral celots can be quite dangerous. It is a very appropriate creature for this type of simulation. But I have to admit that I was momentarily surprised. Thought.
I did wonder at that reaction. That explains it. All right. Noted.
She continues and she's finishing up. You hear another roar coming. It's like, "Almost finished, sir. Could you please take a defensive posture?"
Absolutely.
You hear it coming closer. He's like, "Almost finished, almost finished." It comes around. "Finished. 2 to beam up."
2 to beam up. Perfect. Well done, Fox.
Thank you.
Also, is there anything that you wanted to talk to me about regarding the situation in the simulation earlier? You may feel free to speak freely.
I'm unsure as to your logic in the RAM maneuver, even
Absolutely.
though I did hear you defend it.
Absolutely. If I may be candid with you, Falk, it's something I've always wanted to do. And given the situation and where we were, I just went with the impulse because it just, if that would have worked, that would have been so beautiful.
I have calculated the probability of success for that maneuver was quite low.
Yes, that was my idea as well. But go big or go home. That's my motto.
It is interesting to me that humans often will ignore probability and do things like that. And while probability does hold and there can be disastrous outcomes, occasionally humans have been known to take vast risks and positively influence their outcomes beyond which most species would have ever anticipated. I hadn't seen this kind of behavior from a betazoid before.
I did grow up amongst the humans that might attribute to that rash tendency that I sometimes can show.
It also interests me that yourself and the captain could not be any more.
I have wondered at his request for my presence as well. It is not something that he has divulged to me as of yet. But as he is a good captain, I'm guessing it's our differences that made him want me as his second.
Infinite diversity and infinite combinations.
Indeed.
That is the source of strength.
I could not agree more.
All right, let's end that scene. That was good. Enjoyed
Perfect.
that. All right. Now that session is over, Dr. Bassa, you wanted, was it Zik, the Boolean doctor?
Yes. So if we can just start in the medical bay, just looking at reports of random reports of health and things. So we're just going through that.
Okay. You and her going over different reports. You tend to work different shifts, so there's always a senior kind of doctor on duty in sickbay. But very often you have to coordinate with her, and there's probably a C shift as well. But you guys are working through this material. She's talking. She's okay. I think this is everything, Doctor.
Yeah, well, everything on professional basis. But on a more personal level, I thought we could have a chat.
Oh, okay. I have some time. Sure.
Yeah. So, no, I was just thinking about our time spent together and kind of where we're going from here, and we don't see a lot of each other, but I do enjoy our interactions.
Oh,
Each time.
Yeah. Of course, I enjoy our working relationship.
Hey, how about that interesting celebration that Marcus had after winning that?
Yeah, I mean, I am assuming Xandra just caught up in the moment. I don't know her as well yet, but I didn't think that she was interested in Lieutenant Commander Barton in that way.
Right. It's kind of interesting because you don't really know how people are feeling all the time.
Right.
And I just wanted to see how you're feeling. Are you seeing someone?
There's this long pause. No.
Okay. And are you interested in someone?
I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know because, we're friendly on terms like these. I thought, it would be a good thing to discuss, right? If interests in your, in a partner for life and things like that, especially being so far out. Yeah.
She looks really surprised and confused, and she
Hmm.
says, "Well, I mean, as a Boolean, interspecies relationships can be difficult because of our chemistry."
Oh, absolutely. Yes. I mean, from a medical standpoint, that's very difficult. Yeah. Well, because that's what friends talk about. Ha 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 ha.
Okay.
Well, do tell me if there's someone you fancy some other time.
All right, doctor.
Okay.
She turns around and leaves. She gets to the doorway, stops, turns back and looks again, and
I
turns
wave.
and leaves again, and just gets to all the way to the hallway and stops and turns and looks, and then the doors close behind her. So that was Dr. Bess's most awkward possible trying to make friends conversation.
Yes.
And now your subordinate thinks that you are hitting on her.
Good. That makes it so much better.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness indeed. All right. The last scene will be between Captain Argel and Zeg Karthunk, our resident Tellarite, chief of the boat, and the scene that you had pitched was a performance review.
Yes.
Okay, and where will this be occurring?
This will be happening in the captain's ready.
Okay, so you're sitting in the captain's ready room where the chime comes on.
Come in.
Zeg it opens up. Walks in. I've always hated that noise. Captain?
Greetings, Zeg. How are you today?
Well, let me tell you. Food out of my replicator is off. I'm sure the computer diagnostic tells me it isn't, but it is. It's cold in the hallways. It's hot in my workstation. I just don't know. I tried to talk to David about it, but he is, as helpful as something that's not really freaking helpful, And but what can I do? What can I say?
As chief of the boat, I feel that you should be able to effectively address these problems in the here and now. Granted, the heat being off and your food being cold are minor inconveniences. However, it matters that you're able to affect change in the here and now, so that when crises come up or lives are on the line, that you're able to ask for and get the things that we need in order for our mission to be successful.
I mean, I see your point, Captain. And certainly these are things that I'm attempting to address. Everything aside from David, who is both outside my purview and, if I may speak freely, a little difficult to deal with.
I'd like for you to try to get along better with David. How ready do you feel that you're able? Ready do you feel you are to get along better with David? I
am the easiest person in the world to get along with. I'm well known throughout the sector for my sunny disposition.
So what I'm hearing is that you're ready to improve that relationship.
I suppose.
Okay. Now, if you're ready to improve it, thinking about your confidence to do so, as chief of the boat, in your professional role, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your readiness to improve your relationship with David?
Like, honestly, 6.5.
6.5.
Yeah.
Okay, so somewhat confident. Why a 6.5 and not a 7 or 7.5? Are you okay, Zeg? I'm trying to engage with you here.
So those of you that aren't in the social serving sector, like Michael and I are, he's using very classic engagement techniques. This particular one coming out of motivational interviewing training, which is tickling me to no end. All right. Sorry, can you ask that question again? I got lost in how funny I thought.
Just as chief of the boat you said 6.5, somewhat ready or somewhat confident in improving your relationship, but that's 6.5. It's not a 10. What would get you to say a 7 or a 7.5?
Well, I suppose I could invite him to debate night.
Okay.
I've started a debate club on the ship. So.
Do you feel that David attending debate night with you would improve your relationship with him or degrade it?
Well, who doesn't love arguing?
Well, you certainly love arguing, and seemingly David does as well.
See?
If you improved your relationship with David, how do you think it might benefit the crew as well as yourself?
I suppose he'd be more supportive of my policy briefs for the NCOs under his command in his department. And he would stop calling me a space dwarf every time I try to give him any of your department briefs.
And I think really importantly for you, he might fix the temperature controls and your replicator so you can finally get some hot food.
I never thought of
that. So...
Wait, are you saying that you think that he's withholding repairs because he doesn't like me? How can someone not like me?
That is between you and him. What I want to focus on is what you can do in order to improve this relationship.
All right.
Now, you wanted to invite him to debate night. You want that to improve the relationship.
Yeah.
What do you think might prevent the relationship from improving? You get him there, it's debate night.
Let's see. I suppose he could be really bad at debate and I could embarrass him.
Do you think he's really bad at debate?
Good at argument, but it's not necessarily the same as formal debate. And I held the rank of John Dot Master in debate on my homeworld.
So you feel he's more of an arguer and less of a debater.
Yeah, a lot of passion, not a lot of refined skill.
Well, I mean,
like
David's
a child.
He's a guy who likes being right. So maybe if he's not great at argument, it might be in his interests to improve so that he can be right more often.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah. Okay. So what I want from you, and this can be in writing or it can be delivered in just a short communique within the next 24 hours. I want a simple and specific plan on improving your relationship with him, and I want you to make some firm commitments. If he doesn't want to go to debate night with you, I'd like you to explore other options for making this relationship better. This is about the performance of the ship, not just the temperature controls, and it's essential that you two improve your relationship.
All right, Captain. I suppose I can try to do that. Fulfill my duties, as I always have.
Excellent. Dismissed.
Stands up, getting ready to go. Seems kind of ruffled. Turns and he's like, "The captain."
Yes?
Want to come to debate night?
I would love to come to debate night.
All right. All right.
Carry on.
On this interaction, might not need the help. And he walks out. Hey, these are great. I love those interactions. That was phenomenal.
Was that a performance review or a counseling session?
It can be both.
Yeah. I love that. That was phenomenal. Thank you, everybody, for that. So we have about a half an hour before we call it quits. I'm wondering, do we want to get started on the kind of episode proper? Or would we like to leave that till tomorrow? Kind of quit a little bit early.
I like a fresh start.
Fresh start?
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. And this is the crew of the Bonaventure signing off.